Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, February 10th, 2022. I'm Keith Tebow. The state is lifting its mask mandates in schools at the end of this month. Diman Voc is looking to get parents better engaged with their child's education, and the Diocese of Fall River is looking at 2022 as an opportunity to hear from local Catholics. All this and more coming up. Massachusetts Commissioner of Elementary and Secondary Education Jeffrey Riley yesterday announced that the school mask mandate, which has been in place since the beginning of the school year in September, will be lifted on February 28th.
School districts no longer need to request a waiver from DESE to remove masks in school buildings. Starting February 28th, they can remove masks regardless of vaccination rates in their buildings. Several schools across the Commonwealth have already lifted mask requirements by attesting that 80% of their students and staff are vaccinated, and they have had success. And we believe that removing the mask requirement will make it easier for students to learn, particularly our young readers and students learning English as a second language. While masking is no longer a statewide requirement, we ask all school leaders and students to make sure they respect all individual choices around mask wearing. Please make sure to create a supportive environment that respects everyone's choice to do what is most appropriate and comfortable for them.
At this time, it's unclear how Fall River schools will respond to lifting the mandate. Each district will have the option to institute a local mandate if deemed necessary. Masks will still be required on all school buses per federal mandate. News of the lifting of the school mask mandate comes on the heels of very encouraging COVID infection numbers statewide and here in Fall River. Here's an update on how COVID-19 stands in the city based on numbers released last Thursday, February 3rd. The city saw a significant decrease in new COVID cases last week. 688 new cases of the virus were reported. That's a nearly 50% drop over the over 1,200 new cases the week before. Vaccinations are still at the same rate from the last report. 68% of city residents having received at least one dose of the vaccine and nearly 60% fully vaccinated. Community COVID vaccination clinics will continue across the city. You can find out more by visiting frvax.com or by calling 833-8VAX-NOW. That's 833-882-9669, or you can dial 211. It was announced this week that a group looking to establish a new charter school in New Bedford and Fall River has withdrawn its application from consideration. Leaders of the Innovators Charter School made the decision, citing local backlash from New Bedford and Fall River political leaders and education officials. Mayor Paul Coogan tells us he welcomes new schools if they can provide an education not currently available to city students. That was not the case with this proposal.
When we went over to the hearing in New Bedford, they didn't have a single resident from New Bedford talk in favor of this proposal. I'm sure both of our charter schools in Fall River are not at capacity. I'm sure the programs they were trying to do are already being done in Fall River. And I'm sure that they would have had a real tough time busing people from Fall River to New Bedford to get a roster of kids out of our city. At the same time, I didn't want that proposal in New Bedford, pulling the New Bedford kids. I had a conversation last night with John Mitchell. I think that the proponents of the charter school were dripping people off of their roster of supporters, and they didn't have enough community involvement to put that together. And again, everything that they're proposing is already being done in conjunction with one of our schools that we do have an early college arrangement with is Bristol Community College, UMass Dartmouth, and we're going to be announcing shortly another school coming into the fold, I believe, that'll give Durfee High School students more early college options than any high school in the state.
Diman Regional Vocational Technical High School has introduced a multi-platform initiative to engage parents to take a more proactive role in their children's education. The Diman Family Connection is a program Diman Assistant Superintendent and Principal Andrew Ribello says will better connect parents to information and allow them to support the school in ensuring their children succeed inside and outside the classroom.
The more families are involved in their child's education, in their educational career, the better outcomes for those kids after graduation. You see higher graduation rate. Those students miss less time in school. They have better academic and vocational achievement. And on top of that, they have better social and emotional outcomes and physical health. So the research is abundantly there that family initiatives and family engagement with schools is incredibly important. And we essentially have a first shift with our students, right? We only get them for 4 years, right? We only have from 7:30 to 2:30 with them each day. So if we're not engaging parents, growing parents, and empowering parents, then we're missing an opportunity.
The first component of the program is a web page that curates the most popular and useful information traditionally sought out by parents.
What are parents and families and students clicking on the most? Okay, we want that in there. We looked at our research data from last year. We sent a community-wide survey to our stakeholders and asked them exactly what they would want and need from our school and what they didn't know. And we put that all in a one-stop shop page. So it's easy access for parents. Basically, all you have to do is click the website, and then you have those links and resources all across the page. And if you still can't find it and you still don't know who to ask, right at the top of that page, there's a link there that you can submit a question, and you will be answered and directed to the right location. So even if you don't know where to go or if you don't know who to ask, all you do is click that link and ask a question, and we will get back to you, really bridging the gap between school and home.
The Diman Family Connection program also includes interactive components to provide a well-rounded experience for parents.
This isn't just a website that people will go to and click. A few times a month, we're having workshops and forums for parents, ranging from school-based need to also growing the parent and equipping them with all the tools to be the best parent and provide the best support for their children possible. Some of those workshops include, from a school-based end, would be financial aid night, college and career readiness, cooperative education, advanced placement forums. And then on the parent and family engagement end, we have digital responsibility forums and workshops. We've partnered with many community organizations that come in and actually run these workshops that include grandparents raising grandchildren, alcohol and drug abuse prevention, vaping prevention. So there's a plethora of things out there that we're going to be able to offer to parents. So we're very excited about it.
A group of local community organizations is making strides in ending period poverty in Fall River. The Coalition Against Poverty, a group of over 30 community organizations, has been working since 2019 to bring to light the barriers and stigmas faced by those who require access to menstrual products. Of particular interest are those in local schools and in low-income communities. Wendy Garflip, Executive Director of United Neighbors of Fall River, says city youth face a constant challenge in obtaining menstrual products.
1 in 10 girls have found themselves unable to afford a menstrual product. 1 in 7 girls have asked to borrow a sanitary product from a friend, and more than 1 in 12 girls have had to improvise a sanitary product. Improvise means instead of a pad or a Tampax, it means that they use a sock or newspaper and a washcloth, or they reuse a pad that had already been used, dried, and was given to be used again. Some young women have to resort to using the few tampons that they can afford for prolonged periods of time, risking toxic shock syndrome, cervical cancer, and other dangerous infections. The stigma surrounding periods has been shown to directly affect a girl's potential to succeed. If a girl misses school every time she has her period, she's 145 days behind her fellow male students.
Garflip says a bigger factor for youngsters is feeling uncomfortable talking about their periods in a school setting, a shame and stigma that is unique to those who menstruate. Progress has been made in Fall River in the past year, as schools have stepped forward to ensure period poverty becomes less of a concern.
In August, we spoke to Superintendent Andrew Rubello at Diman, and they made the big decision that starting this past September, they were going to be able to provide for the girls in their school and women and people who menstruate in their school access to products in all appropriate bathrooms. So that was our first big win. Then we began to talk with the Fall River Public School. There have been a lot of changes in the public school. And recently we got a pledge from Maria Ponce that they would be erecting these machines in all necessary bathrooms in the high schools and the middle schools. And then we'd be looking also to see what would happen in the elementary school. And I say the elementary school because I bet a lot of listeners don't realize that the average age of menses these days is 9 years old. That's when girls average start to menstruate. So they're not in junior high yet or in middle school yet. They're still in elementary school.
United Neighbors has partnered with the Massachusetts chapter of the National Organization for Women to secure a $150,000 grant to launch a menstrual product distribution program in the city to supply schools, shelters, and other agencies with menstrual products. Garflip says talking about menstruation and access to menstrual products should not be a difficult conversation within our schools.
We use the word tampon, and we use the word pad, and we use the word menses, and we use the word menstruation, because this is part and parcel of health of women across the board. So to stigmatize these words contribute to the whole process as well. We're very, very concerned that making access as easy for people who are menstruating as access to soap and toilet paper in the bathroom. That is the comparable thing. When you go into the bathroom, you don't have to worry if you have to go to the guidance counselor first to get a roll of toilet paper, or if you have to go to your teacher and ask for permission to use sanitizer. Those things are readily available for people in our schools and our institutions, and we think that menstrual products should be that way as well.
Fall River joins Cambridge, Somerville, and Boston public schools in providing students with free access to menstrual products. There's also state legislation filed to mandate free access to menstrual products in schools statewide. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Fitness trainer. Planet Fitness, located at 360 Rhode Island Avenue, seeks a full-time fitness trainer responsible for running the Planet Fitness group fitness program and assisting new members in achieving their fitness goals. Job number 162-10567. Office Assistant. Able Associates, located at 187 Plymouth Avenue, is looking for a full-time office assistant to assist with running the daily administrative operations of the company. Job number 162-08638. RN Supervisor. Catholic Memorial Home, located at 2446 Highland Avenue, is seeking a part-time RN supervisor to supervise all nursing activities and make a positive difference in the lives of residents. Job number 162-27559. Assistant Manager. Eblens, located at South Coast Marketplace at 500 William S. Canning Boulevard, is looking for a full-time assistant manager. For more information, call 774-365-6484. Blount Fine Foods, located at 630 Current Road, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Manufacturing Performance Analyst, job number 162-07138. Accounts Receivable Associate, job number 162-23047. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. The University of Massachusetts Dartmouth has received a $4.3 million grant from the Office of Naval Research to expand its research capabilities within its Marine and Undersea Technology Research Program. This is the third grant in 2 years received by the university to partner with the Naval Undersea Warfare Center Division Newport to fund 9 projects related to the blue economy and the offshore wind sectors. In announcing the grant award, Massachusetts 9th District Congressman Bill Keating said the work being done by the university is advancing research and technology improvements that will aid in better understanding our marine ecosystem and provide tools and strategy to support the country's national security.
As we speak here today, I am about to go back to a briefing of the Armed Services Committee where we are having representatives of the Department of Defense talk about how important it is in terms of procurement and gaining assets and speeding up the time, modernizing it in terms of making the assets we employ as a country for our security and research the best in the world. But all those assets mean nothing if you don't have the training and research to go with it. The research that will go into the procurement process, that'll tell our government security forces just what we need in a modern sense, in a real-time sense, and also to develop the personnel to be able to conduct that research and the training necessary that goes with it. So this is indeed timely, it's important, and the mission here, the collaborative mission, couldn't be more important in terms of our nation's security.
The Diocese of Fall River is looking ahead to taking part in a Catholic Church synod in an attempt to learn from Christians how the church can serve them better.
The diocesan phase of that synod, which is to bring people to the church and listen to them and have their voice being heard, is a process that is encouraging not only those who are active involved in the church, but even those who are not active in the church, or even those who don't come to church, or even those who are not Catholic. We want to hear from them too. How can the church be better in the future? So we have that process that is engaging a lot of people, and we're going to have a lot of listening and a lot of people coming together to share their thoughts and their idea and their voice to be heard.
With dwindling attendance at Mass and an aged congregation, the diocese is also making a concerted effort to attract youth to the church.
It is true that we need to reach out to a lot of people, especially the younger generation. Recently, we hired a full-time youth minister for the diocese, and that person is now fully engaged in helping the parishes, helping the diocese to engage the young people. And we use, all kinds of social media in person, and they are going around the parishes and reaching out to young people in so many ways, with retreats, with adorations, and with all kinds of activities. And I'm very hopeful that that's going to also engage young people, because we didn't have a youth minister for the diocese for many years, so this is a really encouraging moment for us.
We will wrap up this edition of FRC Media News right after this.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Maggie. Miss Maggie here, she's an older girl. She's 11 years old. She's a pity mix. She is, if you couldn't tell already, very much overweight. When she actually came into us, she was 99 pounds. She is down to 91 pounds now, so we've managed to get some of the weight off there. She still needs to lose quite a bit. She's a very, very sweet girl. She absolutely loves to get attention. Very housebroken. She actually was an owner surrender from a home. Her previous owner unfortunately passed away. She is good with other dogs. She's not super big on play, for multiple reasons, both the age and her size. But she does just fine with them. She does totally fine with cats. In fact, she just kind of ignores them, and they kind of do their own thing, and she just does her own thing. She is a very sweet girl. A little restless right now, because she's excited. She came out of the kennel. If you'd like to meet Maggie, you can come down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts, at Forever Paws Animal Shelter. Today we have Blue. Mr. Blue here, he's an older gentleman. He's about 10 years old. He is a Siamese snowshoe. Because of his age, he pretty much just kind of likes to find a nice spot and hang out, though he does like to get his attention. You can see he does tend to soak this sort of thing up. So he'd be a good cat to just kind of chill and hang out with after a long day, that sort of thing. He would do good in probably in a diversity of homes, normal, everyday comings and goings, that kind of activity level, or a quieter home would probably be ideal. He is very healthy, especially for his age. So if you think that you'd be interested in meeting Blue here and possibly taking him home, you can come down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please continue to visit our website at frmedia.org for all the latest news and information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next Thursday.